Greetings. This is Clarissa Schmall again with the last episode of our series on how to build a resume. So I promised last time that we would take a look at the Vita, otherwise known as life statement. This is probably formerly known as a cover letter. And it just gives the person looking at your resume an idea of your voice, what you're passionate about, what led you to want to pursue this avenue, whether it be a job or the next phase of your education. A list of accomplishments is one thing, but a paragraph where your heart can shine through, if you will, is sometimes the thing that can put you in better standing than another resume with the same basic accomplishments, if that makes sense. So what I'd like to start with is to show you mine. So I have a resume. I updated it as recently as May of 2021. So hopefully this document that you're creating will stay with you for a lifetime, and you'll be able to tweak and add and change it for specific purposes. So as you can see, mine is, let me just switch over here. Here we go. So mine has my name at the top, and then instead of resume, in the English teacher world, we call it a curriculum vitae. Don't worry about that. I like to put the last time I updated it just because I'm old. And then, as you can see, here is the section that I encouraged you guys to have with your personal information. And then the second section that I encourage you to have, let me find it, I believe was your what do you want to be when you grow up? And this educational philosophy paragraph, otherwise known as my Vita, sort of serves as that category for me. And then I think one of your categories is professional experience or job or work history, something like that. And there's mine. Another category that you guys have is awards and achievements. My achievements are mostly professional, so that's why I added that word. And then here's the references, right? So this is my resume with a Vita stuck in right after my personal information and before we get going on what I've done and why you should hire me, kind of thing. Okay, so let's make sure this is what you're seeing too. Yes, okay. So I said, whatever it takes, that is my educational motto. As a veteran classroom teacher, I find a new answer to that motto every day. For one student, it might take attending an extracurricular event or making a home visit. For another, it might mean providing one-on-one tutoring before school or the chance to resubmit an assignment until the student and I deem it ready. Several years ago, I found myself answering a call to help other teachers in this, the greatest profession of all time, find their own answers to whatever it takes in order to provide success for their students. Having worked as a high school English teacher, an ILT coordinator, a secondary curriculum specialist, a national board certification support provider, and the student services director for Watauga County Schools, I have developed professionally and personally. I know current teacher concerns at local, statewide, and national levels from having lived them, and from attending numerous conferences such as the Distinguished Teacher Forum in Raleigh and the Curriculum and School Reform Conference in DC. But after serving these support roles, I longed to go back where the work matters most, in the classroom. Finding no English high school positions available in Watauga, I looked outside my hometown area and found an opportunity in Tennessee. One day in, I knew I had made the right decision. Providing opportunity for success to all students is still the most exciting, challenging, and rewarding job in education. However, after teaching in Johnson County for 7 rewarding years, I am excited to apply for an administrative role where I might offer support to district leaders and teachers in order to positively affect student growth all over the place. I would be honored to accept this challenge as it would demonstrate my commitment to lifelong learning. And then what I have done is um, I say specifically what I would do if offered the position: develop content, lead professional development, prepare resources, et cetera, et cetera. Um, the more advanced the position is that you're applying for, the more specific you want to be in your intention to take that business from A to Z. Okay, so when I would read my Vita to students, they would say, great, because mine's going to look super different and I'm hating you right now because there's no way that mine's going to look like that. Well, of course it's not. So what I did is um, sorry, let me, what I did was I said, okay, let's break down um, what what I wrote, and let's break that down and show you that it's really the same template that you guys can use. Hang on. Here we go. There we go. Ta-da. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can up the font really quickly. Okay. Let's see what you guys are seeing. Okay, that's better. Okay. So what I did was I broke down my Vita. So I set the black is of course my words, and then the blue is what my guidance advice would be. And I can share these documents with you um, at it. All you need to do is email me and I will share them with you. So whatever it takes, that is my educational motto. So that was my first sentence. I wanted to begin with a quote or motto, a belief or an anecdote, which is of course is a short story. And then my next part, as a veteran classroom teacher, I found a new answer to that motto every day. For one student, it might be X, for another, it might mean this. I said, explain how you live that motto, explain how you live that quote, explain what that belief drove you to do, explain how that short story, that anecdote, led you to pursue this path, and how that quote, motto, or belief or story is incorporated into your daily actions or your career objective. And then I went back and I gave a little bit about where I have been. So, why do you want me over this other candidate? Several years ago, I found myself wanting to help other teachers. So, I said, tell your reader where you've been and what you've been doing to get you closer to your goals. And that's where I listed all those things that I had done, the different jobs that I had had within education, different um, things that I had attended, etc. And then this part is broken down in terms of what specific undertakings or experiences have prepared you for this goal or given you insight into your career objective. For example, courses you've taken, mission trips you've taken, blood drives you've been involved with, competitions you've been involved with, any leadership opportunities, any organizations. And that's where you can go back to your resume and pull, your membership in um, the ethics club, for example, and talk about what service you had done under that club that really inspired you and meant a lot to you, and therefore helped shape your goals. The same is true for community service. And then the part where I said, I know what teachers feel. Like I've lived their challenges. And so I put show off background experiences or future intentions that have made you or will make you more aware of the aspects of your specific area of interest. So, personal choices that you've made that have helped you prepare for that career. And then finally, explain why you are seeking entrance, as in to higher education, or acceptance into employment. What are the unique aspects of this particular institution or employment opportunity that have piqued your interest and align with your goals? Excuse me, I always told my students, if you want to go to Harvard, right, you better have done some digging and some research into a club that they offer that you were really interested in, so that they know that you've taken the time to look at them. You're not just putting Harvard down because it sounds good. If you want to go to work for Burger King, you have looked at their mission statement online. You have researched their fiscal trends, right? And so you're prepared not only to talk about it in your vita, but also in the interview if you should be granted one. And then for my students, I usually gave them a list of excellent phrases to consider incorporating into their vita. And these were taken from the most desired soft skills list for 2020. You can probably go and see if there's an updated list of those. But so you might want to drop the words lifelong learner, which I did, for the greater good, self-motivated, problem solver, community contributor, adaptability, adept, communicator, inspire others, team player, work ethic, initiative, and accountability. So those are just some good words to think about how to incorporate into your vita. And then this is a vita from a past high school graduate. Please respect the student's privacy and do not share this sample or its contents, so please no pictures. But the student wrote, growing up, I was always taught to strive to achieve my goals. So this is a high school senior. Although there have been many uncertainties already faced on this path towards my future, my career choice has never been one of them. I've always wanted to become a registered nurse. There has been an abundance of influences on my career choice, two of the most significant being my parents and the health science mentors in high school. My education offered multiple certification courses, one of which has allowed me to earn my certified nursing assistant license to better my understanding of the healthcare field. Earning my CNA has provided me the opportunity of employment close to home and real experiences in a medical atmosphere to advance my nursing capabilities. Growing up in a small, close-knit community has given me multiple opportunities I would not have been given otherwise. Because of this, I feel drawn to return to my community to give back. Once I receive my bachelor's degree in nursing, I plan to find a job within Johnson County to relay knowledge and experiences to a new generation. With a growing population and an increase in life expectancy, healthcare workers are constantly needed to give care and supply information on healthy lifestyle habits in rural areas such as ours. Having experience as a local and having the education needed to share medical knowledge are critical advantages I will have when returning home. So I hope that you can look at my students' vita and go back to the template and see, okay, this person did that, they did that, they did that. So let's see how it began. Was it with a quote, motto, belief, or anecdote? Growing up, I was always taught to achieve my goals. So that could be considered a belief, it could be considered a little story. Um, so it doesn't have to be anything Shakespeare would write, right? Like you're just so one of the things in this person's vita that is also on their resume is certified nursing assistant. Obviously, probably under accomplishments and achievements. And but here, this person was allowed a format to um, explain why that makes um, for a better employment opportunity, right? So she says to better my understanding of the healthcare field. That's why this person did it. So this person was not the touchiest, most feeliest student I ever had, and I think that's the reason I chose this Vita to share. Is when I say, they need to hear your heart, this person did that, but not in a particularly emotional way, just kind of a down and dirty, here's what I want to do, here's what I've always wanted to do, here are the things that I have done and the things I will do in order to achieve the dream, if that makes sense. So today we have looked at um, two examples of Vitas. In addition, I have provided sort of a template for a Vita for you and some vocabulary that I would strongly encourage you to consider incorporating in your Vita. A Vita only has to be about 7 to 10 sentences, 12 if you're feeling really good about yourself. Consistently, my students would tell me that it's one of the hardest things they ever wrote, even though it was pretty short. And even though they knew the material, because we know ourselves. But having to sort of toot your own horn is one of the hardest things that a lot of you will do because it makes you feel boastful. But this is the one place where you want to be boastful, tempered with reality, of course. You want to sell yourself, so to speak, so that if there are limitations on how many we're taking this year, you're absolutely considered. So it's been my pleasure to bring you these tips. Again, let me know. Email me if you want me to share any of the materials with you, or just contact the Johnson County Library and they can let me know who you are and what you want. All right, y'all take care.